Hello everyone, welcome back to this smartphone graphics design class with Skill Academy. So in today's lesson, we'll be looking at how to design event posters and flyers with your mobile phone, okay? How to create event posters and flyers with your mobile phone. Now, if remember that the app we are using is Canva for this design. We can also use Poster Maker by Splendid app. You can also use Poster Maker by Splendid app. Okay, so now the main difference between flyer and posters is that flyers are usually handheld invitation designs that people can always look back to or can use as a point of reference when coming to your event. But posters are larger in size, they are bigger and are usually, pasted on walls and different places. So that's the main difference between them, but the design is usually the same. Okay, so the design is usually the same. So we are going to design a poster or a flyer, okay, using Canva today. Okay, so remember again, I said the reason we usually use Canva for all these our designs is the fact that Canva is is a mobile app that allows you to create any kind of design that you want. It already has different templates, okay, that we can just, select, edit, and in less than how many minutes our we already have our design. Okay, so and also the moment you create any design with Canva on your mobile phone, it will be available for you on the desktop version whenever you log in. It will be available for you on the desktop version whenever you log in. So that's why we usually use this mobile app Canva to design whatever we want to design. So when it comes to creating posters, you can either select to create blank and start from the scratch, or you select a template and get started using that template. Okay, so just do some editing there, and fix your own information, and within a couple of minutes you already have what you are looking for. Okay, so let's say we are designing an event flyer for a church program. Okay, an event flyer for a church program, or an event poster for a church program. Now you just look for a template that matches that, like this one here. This one looks good, and this one too also look good for a church program. Or you can keep scrolling till you find the exact one that you want. For instance, this particular one, this one looks nice. This one looks nice. So let's just see this one for an instance. So once you select it, okay, now this is poster size. Once you select it, it will open up this particular page. So you just go ahead, make your editing, design it the way you want it to be, then download it to your device, and then go to a printer, or go to a computer center and have them print it for you. Okay, so in the same way you can use your desktop to do this, but now we are using our mobile phone to get it done. Okay, so that's how you design a poster. Okay, so let's do this quickly. Now we are designing something for a Christian gathering, like a church gathering. Okay, so but we are going to use this one to do that. Now, starting from here, okay, you can change this to the title of the event. Okay, like if it's a church program that they have tagged, let's say Grace and Glory. Okay, Grace and Glory. You just come over here, change that title to Grace and Glory. Grace and Glory Conference. Okay, just don't worry about the size. Okay, don't worry about the write-up entering the other one. We'll still change it. Okay, so now you have the write-up you want over there. You can make your edits over here. You just reduce the size a little bit. Now, having reduced the size, you can just move it with your finger upward, or you come over here and use the notch to move them. This allows you to move whether downwards or upwards. Okay, so now I'm going to I'm going to stretch this, okay, so that the glory will go up and be on the same line with that word grace. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to stretch this to accommodate the other one. So now that I've done that, I'll shift it, position it properly. Okay, so you have Grace and Glory Conference, let's say 2022. Grace and Glory Conference 2022. Now, over here, you have an image that is having a computer, like a hand holding a computer. Now, this would have been nice for a business conference. Okay, it would have been nice to have a hand holding a computer like that. But when you are having a church event program, you need to get something else, something that will tally with what you are designing. So we are going to change that image over there. So how do I do that? Now I've clicked on it. Okay, you just click on it, and then you come over to replace. So once you come to replace, you have gallery here, uploads here, and the rest of them. So under that gallery, if you already have an image you would want to use, you just go ahead and select that image. Okay, then under upload here, these are files that you have created before, that you uploaded before when you were making your other designs. So you can just select from there if you already have one. And then you can also go to photos over here, and once you click on these photos, it will give you options. Okay, remember you are designing a church event, so you don't really need to use something single like that, like the magic recommendations here. The magic recommendations here are usually something that Canva app feels will match what you are doing. So you can select from them if the ones shown on your screen matches exactly what you are doing. But if they don't, you can also scroll to find something else that will match what you are doing. And then in the event that you can't see it over here, okay, you can just go to search. You can go to search. Now, since we are creating a church program, let's search for something like crowd or people. You can either type crowd or you search for people. Okay, you can search for crowd because normally church events are usually about crowds. So when you type crowds and the options show forth like this or show up like this, you look for the one that matches what you are about designing. Okay, there is one up here. This looks good. This one looks good, but we are not going to use it. Now there is another one here. This it also looks good, and many of them. So now, since we're having a church program, this also looks nice. So we can either choose to go with this very one here, or we will go with or we will go with this. Okay, so either this because of what we are designing, or we go with this. Okay, so let's say we choose this one. So you just click on it to select it, and once you select it, you see it has automatically entered because we clicked on replace before. We clicked on this replace button before, so it has replaced the image that we have there before. So you can decide to change the color of this new image you imported by going to this place and changing the color. Okay, assuming you have a particular color that you already have in mind. You have a color you already have in mind. For instance, you want that color to be with the rest of the posters. Okay, so once you choose the color, you bring it forward, you bring the image forward. Or if that color will not match, if the color will not match, you can remove it just by going to undo. Okay, you select undo, and that will be it. Okay, so aside from that, you can also change the same image that we have there. Okay, you can still change it again to something else by selecting here and going to the crowd and choosing another picture of the crowd. Like something like this. You see, it still looks nice. Okay, so those are two options you can use. There are also lots more. It looks nice, but I think the first one is better. This is also another one. This is also another one. This one too looks good. Okay, so you just keep doing that until you find the exact one that you need. The exact one that you need. The one that matches what you are creating. Okay, so let me use this. Somehow I just like that. Maybe because their hands are lifted and in the position that many Christians normally are when they go to church. Okay, so you just choose a particular image that fits what you are designing and proceed from there. Okay, so the next thing to do is to come over here and edit these ones. Okay, let's start with this. We can call these speakers. We can call these speakers. Okay, so let's say we edit this, or we say ministering. Because that's what most churches normally write on their program events flyers, or on their program events, their program flyers or posters. So I'm going to delete that one, and then that of the ministry, I'll move it to the center just to represent all of them. I can also remove this if I want, but let's just leave it there since it adds extra flavor to our design. Okay, so we've changed the right up to ministry, and then over here we can change the images of the preachers, all of them. Okay, the image they gave to you, you just have to put them over here to replace the ones that are here. So how do you do that? Just click on the image, and then you go to replace. You go to replace here, and then you go over to your gallery, because I believe you must have had the image already stored in your phone. So you just go to your gallery and then choose where the image is. Okay, if it's under recent, you select it from the recent. If it's somewhere else, you just get it from where you have it. Okay, and in this case, I think I should just click on images over here. So that's how you select an image from your smartphone. Just select a particular image from your smartphone and call it the preacher, or use it to stand as the preacher. So let me choose the one. So you can scroll down until you get the one that matches what you are designing, or the one that you were given by the people to use for the design. Okay, let me use this. So once you select the image that you want, it's going to load. Can you see? So the image that I want has actually replaced the old one there. So I can also, move this thing a little bit down, move it a little bit down. But if I want to move the image in the image that I just put up there, okay, if I want to move the image to maybe shift it, I will just double click the image, double click on the image, or just press the image. It will show me, just press and hold on the image, it will show me the option to drag it down. So I will drag it down a little bit now. So you see, I've dragged it down a little bit from how it was before. So once I've done that, I can proceed to others. So assuming this is also another speaker, I will do the same thing that I did. Assuming this is another speaker that I have the image, I'll do the same thing that I did with this. Okay, if I don't have this, if I don't have this person's image, I mean the second speaker's image, I can, like up to 3 speakers, I can delete just one and leave only 2 speakers there. If I have a need for another image, okay, if there are more than 3 speakers, I can duplicate this. I can just click on this and select duplicate over here. So once I click on duplicate, I already have 2 copies of this, and I will use this one to represent another speaker, to add another speaker to it. Okay, so in the same way, you can also change the frame. Okay, the frame that you have there, you can also change the frame to something different. So in that case, you would have to click on that frame, okay, or the image there, and select replace. So once you click on replace, you go over to photos, not your gallery now, because you may not have a frame in your gallery. So you go over to photos, and You can see that our last search is still there, so I'm going to remove it. So you go over to photos this way and you select frames. You just select frames. You'll see different kinds of frames. So yours is to choose the one that matches what you want. So you can see different frames over here. So just choose the type you want. You can also name it circle frame, as in search for circle frame if you're using the circle type. Okay, so that's how you find the one you want over here. Another way you can do this is when you go back, you click on add. That is a button for add over here. So once you click on that add, you can go to elements. You can go to elements and you select frame directly from here. You can just select frame over here. So once you click on that frame, it will also bring up different kinds of frames. Okay, different kinds, different sizes, different shapes. Okay, so since we have a circle frame in the other picture, let's say the frame we are using now is this one here. Okay, so I just select it and then allow it to load into our banner, into our design. So I will select where I want it to be. Maybe this is where I want it to be. Okay, so I'll select where I want it to be and I will reduce the size. I can also select the color that I want it to have. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the size by adjusting the edges. To fit into my design. Okay, so the beautiful thing about using this frame under elements is that once you are putting it in your design, okay, once you have set where it will be in your design, you can just add picture and the picture will automatically be grabbed, as in the frame will grab the picture automatically without you doing much changes, except for dragging and repositioning it properly to how you would want it to be displayed. Okay, let me delete any of these and we'll put a new frame over there. You can see when I click on delete, it's asking me whether I should delete the frame also or just the image. So I'm going to select delete the frame. Okay, the image has already been grouped with the frame, so the both will be deleted. Let me select these two. Okay. Okay. Now, when you are making your design, when you are putting your frame there, you should know that you can, sorry, you should know that you can group your image and your frame so they become one, so that whatever you do to the frame applies to the image and whatever you do to the image applies to the frame. Okay, the moment you group them, they become one, just like that one that I deleted. Now when I click on delete frame, both the frame and the image were gone. That's because they have been grouped together. The same thing is applicable to this one now. Okay, you can, if you click on delete now, the both will be gone. So, but to edit one, you have to press and hold it down, like to edit the picture itself. So you see other options that were not there before. So from these options, I can select whether to send it backwards or to send it completely backward. That's to allow the background design to come up, and then the design of the image will just look as if it's fading. Okay, I can also detach image by removing the image and the frame will be there. Okay, so another thing you can do is to, from here, once I selected it, is I will apply the color of the picture to the rest of the page by selecting here. Okay, so but that's not what I want to do now. Okay, so now that we've added this one, let's add an image to this. Okay, so I'm going to click on add image, the add button over here, and then I will look for a random person's image and upload a random person's image and upload. So I just clicked on photo and it's going to open this place, so I have to search for, let me see. So it has even given me an option. Okay, through the magic recommendations, I can see some options. So let me use this lady. Okay, so let's say this is the person we want to use. Okay, this is the person we want to use. Let's crop this. We can crop the image a little bit. Okay, so now we are done with the cropping of the image. So the next thing to do is to drag it into the photo frame. Okay, don't worry about the size. The moment you drag it into the photo frame, it will adjust. Watch what will happen. Do you see? It has automatically adjusted to the size of the photo frame. That's one of the magic abilities of that photo frame. Whatever you put inside there will automatically adjust. Will adjust. So you can move it, or you can still make more adjustments over here. You can increase the brightness, the color, you can blur it, and several other things. You can even add shadows and fade and the rest of them. Okay, so now we have our image here of Olivia, our third speaker. We have our third speaker's image. So we can then go ahead to change other things in this place. We can remove this color, this one. We can remove this color and replace it with the color of the Grace and Glory conference, the color of that crowd over there, something like this. Okay, that's the color of the people in the crowd there. Or we can go with something like this. Okay, so that our design will match completely. Okay, or this one. Okay, so this one too looks good. This one also looks good. So just find something, any of the colors from the photos here, that's the color that matches it, and go with it. Okay, let's say this. And then over here, you can also replace this with this. Okay, you can replace this with this particular one, or you can change them, and then this one will have that color, and this, sorry, and then these ones will have a different color. Can be something like this, or you can choose for all of them to, have that same color. Okay, so you can choose for all of them to have the same color. Now, before you are adding your image, if you look, you see that the background of this image is showing over here, and the background doesn't match the rest. Like this one is having a different background, and same is applicable to this. So in the same way, before you upload your image here, you can always remove the background before doing that. And one of the ways to remove the background is by going to remove.bg. So just upload the picture to remove.bg, and you can automatically change the background from there, or you download the app background remover and remove it, or you can also use photo editor like the one I have in my app, in my smartphone here, and you remove it. Okay, so before you upload it here, so that the color will just grab the color of the poster and everything will match. Okay, so now we have a design with almost the same color. So next thing you do is you come here, change the date of the event and the venue using the one given to you. Let's say Abuja Central, Abuja Stadium. So it means the event is taking place at Abuja Stadium. You can also change the symbols here. Just click on any of it, and then you go to replace. Okay, if you don't find an option for replace on it, you can just delete it and add something else. So let's add, you can add a different symbol by going to your elements, and under the element, let's remove the frame that we used before. So under the elements, you can put up something like calendar or date. Let's say calendar. So the moment you search for calendar, you see other symbols that you can use. Okay, let's say we are going to use this one. So I'm just going to drag it down to this place. The beautiful thing again about it is that it will adopt the color of wherever we are putting it. Can you see? So I'm going to remove the one that was there, delete, and replace it with this new one. Okay, and replace it with this new one. So this is the position I want it to be. The next thing for me to do will be to reduce the size. So I'm going to reduce the size. Until I get the size that will match what I'm doing. Okay, let's change the position now. Okay, so we can still adjust the size a little bit more. Just a little bit more, and we move it close. Okay, so the size is perfect right now. Next will be to change the color from that black to white so that it will look exactly like the last one that we removed from there. So I'll just select the color, come over here and change it to white. So it's looking nice. So I can also remove this symbol if I don't want it, but let's leave it like this. And then over here, if they have other details to be added to the flyer, like call or numbers to call, something like that. So I change what is written here to numbers to call for people coming to the program, numbers to call. Or I can change it to for more info, call for more info. For more info, call. Okay, can you see? For more info, call. Then this one here, I will then come over here to add the numbers that I want to add. So I'm just going to add a random number. 080, I'll just add a random number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I'll just add a random number and also add another one. Okay, so let's assume these are the numbers that people coming for the events have to call. So I just add something like this, and perfect. We have our flyer. But if you notice, we didn't add the name of the church. So you can also come up here and make that edit. Just click on add here, and select tests. Scroll to this side, select tests. So under the test, they'll give you an option whether the test is going to be a heading 1 or heading 2 or heading 3. The heading 1 there is the main one. This is going to be the size and the nature of that Grace and Glory conference that I just typed. Or you can choose a subheading. I prefer us going with a subheading because we don't need it to be so big and bogus. Okay, so let's just go with this and we will add our test to it. Let's say we are writing the name of the church now. Let's choose Grace of God Mission. Let's choose a church, Grace of God Mission. International. So assuming this is the name of the church that gave us this work to do. So I've written it, and I can still reduce the size if I don't want this. Okay, and also I can make adjustments to not only the size but the kind of font that I'm using over there. So I can also change the color from here. Okay, so let's adjust the size. Okay, so we have something really nice over there. It doesn't need to be so bogus, so big. Okay, so that's how you change that. And also you can come over here and change the format to bold. Can you see? You can also change it to italics, underlined, and all capital letter. Okay, so next you can add something else like present, because now you've written the name of the church, but you need to add something like presents. You can use this little one to do it. So edit and you write it presents. Okay, that looks good. So once you are done with that, you can move it. Now, there's something else I need you to know. You can actually make this very bold, this design. You can just use your finger to, make it very bold. Make it very bold, and then you go ahead to work on any part you want. And once you are done, you can also reduce it again. Presents. Okay. Okay, so you can also reduce the size back to the way it was before, or to a different size, just using your fingertips. Okay. So now we have Grace of God Mission International presents Grace and Glory Conference 2022. So you have a good poster or a good handbill, that's flyer, that you can use to invite people. So the moment you are done with the design, you send it to the clients. If they approve of it, okay, the next thing will be to print it. Now you can always download it from here. The moment you click on that download button, it will be saved directly on your device, that's on your smartphone. Okay, it will be saved in your gallery. So you just go over there and view it to see what you've been able to design. Okay, so it's saving now. And also you can always access it using a desktop device. So it has saved. We already have our flyer or our poster well designed in this place. Okay, so in this option here is where you need to adjust the size. Like if you are to print it as a poster or as a handbill or a flyer, you can always adjust the size when you once you click on these three dotted lines here. Okay, you just adjust the size from here and set it to what you want it to be. Just edit it, set it to what you want it to be. Okay, once you are done with the whole thing, you save it. Okay, you click on resize over here and do it. Now you won't be able to resize it if you are using a free version. You may not be able to resize it from here. Do you understand? You may not be able to resize it from down here. So you can just select the resize button over here and do that if you're on the Pro version. Okay, so once you are done, remember you download and it will be automatically saved on your device. So if you want to create a different one, you can still go ahead and do that. If you also want to change this color, this blue color, to what you have here so that everything will match, all you need to do is just go to the color here and make the adjustments. Okay, this, see, it matches with what we have. Or you can just come over here and go to photo color and select it, or this. Okay, so that's everything. We just tally with each other. Okay, so now that you've had your poster or your handbill, your flyer, you can just click on download again and it will be automatically saved on your mobile phone.